All right, aloha, my love. Helena Das here, and I am coming to you today with the 11th and final episode of my 10-part, actually 11-part. It started out as 10 and turned into 11, which today is the final one, series called Love Yourself in the Dark, which has been in devotion to the dark horse rises, and specifically my intention with this series has been to activate and elevate my dark horses, my deep feelers, my sensitive souls who know that it is their time to rise, who know that not only is it your time to rise, but it is your time to step up and stand out, because that's what you were meant to do, right? If you are someone who has felt like you don't fit in, that's because you weren't supposed to. You're here to stand out. You're here to shine your light. You are here to blaze that new trail as a visionary trailblazer and a light leader or light weaver, and truly be the change that we need on this planet so desperately at this time. And so if that resonates with you, and you're also drawn to the spirit of the horse, of course, because that's the personal brand of magic that we sprinkle in around here on multiple realms, you want to go deeper in this conversation, the information will be down below to check out the 10 previous episodes, which again are all audio only podcast that you can listen to on Apple or Spotify. Okay, that's the first thing that I want to say. The second thing that I want to mention before we dive into today's episode is that I am opening the gates very shortly after releasing or publishing this episode to my Dark Horse Winners Circle that I'm so excited about, that actually came through along the journey, along the ride of this series. For those who feel the call, the nudge to go even deeper and really make this their time to stop pretending that they're not powerful, to stop waiting and start winning, to stop chasing and start choosing. And at the end of the day, to own your magic and be so anchored, like anchored AF, in the truth of who you are, which is unstoppable, unshakable, unbreakable, and unf-withable as a dark horse on the rise. If you are ready to do all that and unleash your most magnetic self so that you can attract the dreams and desires and business goals or vision that you have been either working for some time, or you're ready to go to the next level. Maybe you are at a place where you are in transition, wanting to like pivot or reinvent yourself. Whatever the case may be, you're ready to activate that next level of soul purpose and prosperity in alignment with your soul. Getting paid, wildly compensated for being you, for shining your light, and really, again, sharing your personal brand of magic with the world. So if that's you, the Dark Horse Winner Circle is the place to be. I'll tell you more about it later on, but I wanted to let you know the gates are opening as of today. 999 for the 999 portal, which I may have to touch on briefly because it's very special to me for a number of reasons. But and the early enrollment period will be for a limited time with pre-sale pricing and perks. So that's all I'm going to say there, but I just wanted to let you know. And the last thing that I do want to mention is that if you feel called, if you go back and listen to the rest of the series and you're feeling the nudge to join the winner's circle, you can actually win. I'm holding a drawing. I think on the 22nd is probably when I'll do it, to give away $500 in bonus bucks, if you will, towards the Dark Horse Winners Circle tuition. And the way that you can win or submit your entry to win is there's a couple of ways. One, you can leave me a review on Apple, pick your favorite episode, and you can also pick your favorite episode and share it on IG and tag me with your takeaway. So you're welcome to do both. You're welcome to share more than one episode. Each share and review is one entry, okay? So you're welcome to do all of that. And I thank you in advance for sharing the love and your support. So with that being said, I think that's all I have on the logistics for you. What I wanted to dive into today, again, is specifically 3 dark horse secrets. I'm going to take a sip of water. 3 dark horse secrets for success, for specifically welcoming in your winning era now. Because if you're watching this, if you found your way to this video, this is your sign that it is your time to win. It is your time, again, to really be in it to win it, okay? And this is part of what we're going to dive into, you know, not just giving lip service and making that initial decision, which is the first step, but you need to be in it to win it, like all in it to win it. And that's what we're going to dive into. And so the first dark horse secret is what I like to call body love and breakthroughs. And this has to do with the fact that when you look at the wisdom of the horse, the medicine of the horse, they are energetically congruent in body, mind, and spirit. Humans, on the other hand, we can have one thing coming out of our mouth and be feeling something different on the inside. Our body language and our non-verbal cues or communication can often tell a different story from what's coming out of our mouth, right? So that's incongruency, and horses are masters at teaching us what it means to be in congruency or in energetic alignment, and letting us know when we're not. And the dark horse in particular, that's where she shines, because in many ways she is like a magic mirror. She is reflecting back to you the predominant frequency, the piece or pieces that are out of alignment that she's picking up on, because she is wildly attuned. She is, as a prey animal, right, hardwired for survival. And so she's always going to be looking for anything that feels off, that's not quite right. And so she will let you know, and we can lean into her wisdom and her magic and learn to look in the mirror. We can look in the mirror. We can learn to sit in our shit, so to speak, and do so lovingly, because the whole purpose of this series, right, is to love yourself through it all. You know, love yourself so completely, so unconditionally, with fierce compassion, that you can feel the feelings, you can look in the mirror, you can look under the bed, right? And face your monsters. You can do all these things and love yourself in the process. Love yourself along the way, and use every single fear, doubt, resistance as fuel to strengthen and build your self-love muscles. And so getting back to the body love piece and learning how to live in and love your body, learning how to cultivate a relationship with your body and its messages, can actually not only help you heal your body faster, and navigate body issues as they come up, but they can actually hold the keys to like unlocking your next breakthrough. Like, how cool is that, right? So the way that I work with the body, so somatic body-based practices for myself and my clients in terms of expanding the awareness, and then looking at the areas that the body is talking when we, for example, think about a specific goal, right? We can actually identify the parts of us that are not in alignment, not on board with that goal, by connecting with our body and feeling into whatever shows up in the moment when we are focusing on a particular goal, okay? So that is the first way to be in it to win it. Like, you really have to be in it, body, mind, and spirit, like from crown to toe, I like to say. And, I used to get really angry because of the whole mindset movement, because when I used to try to focus on doing affirmations or the journaling and, the mindset makeover and all the things, while I did have some temporary kind of shifts or wins, they really weren't moving the needle for me. And if you're a dark horse, chances are you know what I mean. It's like trying to say or write an affirmation and knowing deep down it's not true, right? Feeling like it's a lie and you're just giving lip service. And therefore, it kind of doesn't work for you. It doesn't work for us, right? Because we need to go deeper. As a dark horse, again, we are deep feelers. And so if we don't go deeper and unravel and unveil and uncover those subconscious beliefs and programs, etc., then there's going to be that mismatch, that energetic misalignment that I was talking about earlier, that again, the horses, especially the dark horse, can help us see within ourselves when we work with her. So the next piece to being in it to win it is the emotional agility, the emotional alchemy, the emotional mastery. And this is not about doing a spiritual bypass, because when we avoid feeling our feelings, when we stuff them down and suppress them and don't express them in a healthy, safe way, of course, what happens is we're creating stuck energy, because we know that emotions are energy in motion. And if we don't allow it to move through us, and we can do this any number of ways, from simply being present with our feelings and feeling our feelings and sitting in our shit, but knowing that our feelings and our thoughts do not define us or our value or our worth, right? That's an art and a practice to learn how to do that. There are other ways to also move the energy through breath work or, dance. I have a special process that I developed called Somasize, which I'm so in love with, that has helped me and my clients like anchor the truth of who they are, anchor their new identity in their bodies, and also move and dance with the emotions and the energies in a healthy, fun way. Because I've got news for you. The time of like reliving the past and spending time, hours like healing yourself and working on yourself and trying to fix yourself, which is totally the wrong approach. I learned that the hard way, right? That is gone. That is the old paradigm. That is not even the old paradigm. It was a scam. It was a lie. Like they told us to do that, and it honestly didn't work. It didn't work for me. I know that for sure. I know that when I was coming from the place of trying to fix myself and really that constant personal development of improvement and fixing myself really got to a place where I felt more broke and broken than ever, because I wasn't coming from the foundation that I was enough and that I wasn't broken. And that is the foundation and the truth of who you are and who I am and who every soul is, that the dark horse is here to remind you and help you understand and anchor in your being. She is here to nudge you and whisper the truth that whatever darkness, whatever shadows, whatever heavier or dense energies that you might be experiencing do not define you, but you is really here to show you how freaking powerful you are and how much light you are meant to channel on the planet. Because the darker the dark, the lighter the light. And I've said this before, but it always wants to come through. Those who have been through the darkest of nights are here to hold the greatest light. And so it's not to say that if you haven't gone through darkness, or that people who haven't had the kind of path of the dark horse, it doesn't mean they can't hold light, but the depth and breadth of their light is different from those who have gone through like the valleys, gone to like hell, and then created their heaven from having that experience. Okay, I hope this is making sense. Anyway, so we've got the first dark horse secret, which is the body love and the body side of breakthroughs, or body breakthroughs. The second dark horse secret is learning how to alchemize your emotions, the heavier ones, the ones that feel not so fun, right? Learning how to dance with them in a way, again, that is healthy and safe and allows you to literally channel those energies into something better. Maybe it's channeling it into your sales. Maybe it's channeling it into a passion project. Maybe it's channeling it into taking action on something that you've been putting off forever, right? Like when we have stuck energy, not only does it make you sick and mess with your mojo, but it's difficult to manifest. That whole topic again about the mindset and the affirmations, that works better for people who don't have the gunk in their subconscious, who don't have the history of complex trauma, who don't have the calling that is so high that we had to dive so deep in order to experience the divine duality of as above, so below, right? And so I know I might be getting a little woo out there, but this is me, and I am also in a place where I am really owning my woo and not making that wrong and just letting that come through when it wants to come through. And oh, speaking of that, I completely forgot. So I'm going to keep you in suspense for the third dark horse secret to entering or welcoming in your winning season. I wanted to take a moment and chat with you about why today is so special. Today is the 999 portal. So we know it's September, the 9th month. It's the 9th day of September in 2025. When you add those numbers up, it adds up to a 9. 9 is all about cosmic wisdom. It's about the ending of a cycle, right? So, if you count from 1 to 9, and then 10 is like that 1 again, right? So, excuse me, there is this like culmination. It's almost like the feeling of a full moon, if you will, because there's a culmination and the ending of a cycle. And of course, anytime that we have the numbers repeating, it amplifies the vibes. 9 is also my astronumerology mentor used to call it like the Buddha number, right? It's really, again, because of that cosmic wisdom. Like you've gone through all these cycles and now now you have all this wisdom that you are wise and calm like a Buddha, okay? Anyway, the other piece about the 999 that I wanted to just share on a personal note, which is kind of fun, is the last 3 numbers of my phone number is 999, and I've had that number for years. And it's so crazy. I just got a new card, a business credit card, and the last 3 numbers were 999. And it is like this incredible portal, because when we are ending a cycle, what does that mean? Endings bring in new beginnings, right? And so it is this very exciting portal to powerful new beginnings. It's also a time for, specifically, and I was getting this message for my dark horses, for my change agents, for my light weavers and love leaders, that it is our time, because we have, again, gone through all these cycles. Like that 999 it's like, if you're a dark horse, you've been through some shiz, and not just once, right? Like you've had your dark nights of the soul, but maybe you've been through a season, right? Like of darkness, or had multiple dark nights. There's seasons and cycles, right? It's like with the dark horse, you've walked and maybe crawled through fire to get where you are. Like you didn't sign up for easy, but you're in a place now where you're ready for easy, and you're ready to claim it, and you're ready to own it and receive it and create it, if that makes sense. So, everything that you've been through up until this point, whether it's in your past or in the recent past, or if you're going through it right now, what I want you to know is the fact that you're here means that if you choose it, and even if you're not seeing this on 999, time is fluid. So whenever you're seeing this, just trust the message and that it's meant for you if it resonates. But whenever you're seeing this, it is truly a sign that if you're ready to choose it, to name it, declare it, and be in it to win it. And again, we're going to go deeper into more of that, but essentially to be all in from crown to toe, like I said, it is your time to welcome in your winning season. It's your time to stop waiting until you get that other certification, waiting till, because chances are you already have a few under your belt. And if not, your life, wisdom and experiences, which are precious and gold, not waiting for the right time, when you feel more ready, when you have more money, when you have more time, when you feel like maybe like better in your body. The initiation for the dark horse is actually to love yourself in the dark, to love yourself while you're going through whatever, and know that you are enough to fulfill your soul's work and your soul's purpose and make a difference on the planet with your gifts, with your light, wherever you're at. Like, you don't have to be more ready. You don't have to be perfect. Okay. You can name and claim and declare your winning season now. Let this be the day. Today be day one of your winning season. Write down in the comment below if you want to claim this. Today is my winning season. I am a winner. Okay. Or in it to win it if you want. So let me get back. I digress there to the conversation at hand around being in it to win it. So we talked about the body, love, the physical aspect, right? Really getting your body, your nervous system on board, because something I forgot to mention, so obviously I guess that's why we're heading back there or revisiting it, is that your nervous system and your brain and your body is always trying to keep you safe, right? The biology remembers past traumatic events, whether it's a physical trauma, injury, sports injury, falling off a horse, like I have multiple times. I'm not proud of that, but anyway, whether it's, emotional trauma, spiritual, sexual, or physical abuse, abandonment, betrayal, those would fall into the emotional, wounds. So whatever trauma, okay, you have been through, even from your lineage, even in other lifetimes, your your biology remembers and keep score. Like, it's in your DNA, it's in your cells. And so this is why, as a dark horse, it can sometimes feel like, we've got more layers, or we've got to go a little deeper in the shedding, in the peeling of the onion. Okay. So that was the physical, and we talked about the emotional, learning how to, move and weave and channel and alchemize the energies. There's also another piece. There's the energy management, right? Like, if you're, excuse me, as an empathic, sensitive soul, something that the dark horse or the deep feeler really needs to be careful about is not taking on other people's energies, and like learning to discern, right? Is that yours? Is that someone else's? Are you taking on the collective? Like, really learning to discern what's yours and what's not yours, and having practices to help you keep your energy free and clear. The other thing I want to say is that people, like, we take, like, on the physical level, we take a bath or a shower, more likely a shower, right? Every day or most days, right? And so we're washing off our physical body from the physical dirt that we've accumulated throughout the day. Our energy body deserves the same hygiene, the same attention. So whether it's, a meditation or some sort of practice where you're brushing away the energy, or, visualization, or I have all sorts of spiritual technology, and quantum healing and vortex, energy work that I do and I practice and guide my clients with. But your energy body, your energy field deserves the same love and attention, TLC, and hygiene. And truly, there's that cleansing piece, just like you're washing your physical body, but there's also the plugging in piece. So, like, we plug our cell phones in, right? We plug them in every day to charge them. We need to also plug into our source, whatever your spiritual or religious orientation is, and all are welcome here. Plugging into source every day, even if it's 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. That is so critical to really connect with something greater than yourself, and to know that separation is a lie, right? And when we can plug into source, God of your understanding, infinite intelligence, the universe, again, whatever word works for you, we are literally resourcing ourselves energetically the same way we would be plugging in our cell phone, right? Charging up our supernatural powers, okay, is the way I see it and experience it. So that leads me to the third dark horse secret to be in it to win it, and that is the mindset mojo. And there's a reason I had it be the last and the final piece, and it could be connected, like we just talked about the spiritual in combination with the emotional and the energetic, and that could have actually been a fourth separate category, but that's the way it wanted to come through. But the mental mojo, as I shared before, it doesn't work so well when you haven't addressed the other pieces. So for me, it's like a ground up process, right? When you work with horses, again, you do groundwork first before you ever get on their back, right? Or at least that's my experience and understanding, okay? Working from the root up, creating that sense of safety and security and stability in your body first, right? Doing that groundwork and then building on that as you rise through the energy centers. And so that mindset work is brilliant, but if you haven't done the work below it, right? If the lower energy centers are filled with, limiting beliefs and past programs and, outdated like operating system, essentially, in the other energy centers, and your foundation is really not that strong, then that's why the mindset work doesn't work, right? That's why the mindset mojo, when you work from the ground up, when you work with the body and the nervous system and your emotions and the energy, and again, continue the rise through the energy centers. Now, when you do the mindset work and you rewrite the story or do your scripting or rewire the subconscious or whatever, process that you feel called to, your affirmations, now they are going to be on fire. They are going to work brilliantly because the foundation is stronger, right? So if you want to be in it to win it, and you don't want to simply, do the thing that happens, right, at the beginning of the year, the classic New Year's example where everyone sets their resolutions, and then I think stats were like 90% of people by the first or second month, like, fall off the wagon, fall off the horse and give up on their goals. And so why does that happen? Like, why does that happen? It's because there are deeper reasons that need to be explored. Like, if you want better fruit, you gotta look at the root, right? And the root is our foundation of our core beliefs and our self-concept and the way we see ourselves and what we think we're capable of. And all of that is created from a combination of like your upbringing, right? And the most frequent habits and thoughts and behaviors that you have that are literally creating your identity and self-concept. And you can change those and shift them with like action, right? Like there's a lot of coaches who will talk about just take the action and do it anyway. And while I feel like that can help to some degree and work for some people, again, as a dark horse, if it doesn't feel aligned, if you've got inner fear and doubt and resistance, if you've got like worthiness wounds or other stuff, right? That is coming from all of your dark nights, okay? And they haven't been integrated yet, and they haven't, and I want to be really clear here. The way that I work is not about reliving your past. It's not about re-traumatizing. Like I am over the days of, you don't need to spend hours healing and working on yourself and reliving the past. That is not necessary. And truly, it's like you can shift and you can decide. And there are cutting edge tools and practices and spiritual technology, all of which I, practice and guide my clients with, that can help you recalibrate to that next level self, next level self-concept, next level success. And therefore, from that place, when you're embodying her at that level versus your old identity, which is what always pulls us back, right? Then you're able to become that vibrational match for what you desire and attract easily and effortlessly the things you desire and the people, places, and things that are actually going to support you to manifest and create your dream life. And so, as a quick recap, what I hope you can take away is when you choose and decide to welcome your winning season, when you choose and decide to step into that woman, and I don't like to use the word becoming because there's nothing for you to do or earn or become. Like you are already her. She's already within you. We just need to uncover her. We need to connect with her. We need to tap into her. We need to free her, like set her free and really let her know that it's safe for her to like unleash her true self, right? And that is the quote unquote work. And again, the way I do it, it doesn't have to be work. Like, yes, you got to show up and do the practices. But again, the way that I do them, they're fun, they're light. The spiritual technology, especially if you work with me one-on-one, like my team and I are actually like doing a lot of the energetic surgery and acupuncture and realignment for you. Like all you have to do is receive. Like that's a whole other conversation, and that can happen to a certain degree in a group situation, but obviously it's more personalized, for one-on-one. So the quick recap is if you're ready to name, claim, declare, and welcome in your winning season, kiss your good girl goodbye, your good girl era goodbye. And I can't remember if I mentioned this before, but one of my episodes in that 10-part Love Yourself in the Dark series, in this 10-part, 11-part Love Yourself in the Dark, I keep forgetting that I changed it to 11. One of the episodes was called Kiss Your Good Girl Era Goodbye. So if you want to kiss your good girl era goodbye and welcome in your winning season, you've got to be in it to win it. And again, that is from crown to toe. And actually, I should say from toe to crown, because as I shared, we are working from the ground up and building that strong, solid foundation, anchoring the truth of who you are and building on that so that you can unleash your most magnetic self and start like attracting, manifesting, and co-creating the life of your dreams as if by magic. And so what I want to say, everyone is going to be different. Like, depending again where you're at on the journey, the shifts and the manifestations can happen like seemingly overnight, seemingly quickly, but that's because of where you're at on the journey and what your capacity for the receiving is and how much resistance you have or don't have, right? And, you know, others may take a little bit longer to release that resistance and allow the 3D to catch up. Okay, so obviously it's not a one size fits all. And so quick recap. I think I'm going all over the place today. So, so quick recap of being in it to win it. 1, learn to live in your body, learn to live in and love your body, and know that she can be the portal to unlocking your next breakthrough. 2, learn the art of emotional alchemy, if you will, and how to transform any heavier, dense energies without doing the spiritual bypass, without feeling like you have to, be positive or high vibe all the time, like that toxic positivity. Don't get me started on that. That is, just another way I feel that they're trying to control us and not let us tap into our real feelings. Because when you don't tap into your real feelings, right, and you disconnect yourself from those feelings, you're disconnecting yourself from your power. You're disconnecting yourself from the literal fuel that you get to use and channel for your success. I mean, if you think about it, every negative thought, emotion, event, experience literally is holding the potential for positive change, right? There's divine duality. And again, we don't have to go through that in order to experience the positive, but if you are going through it, knowing how to alchemize it, knowing how to work with it in a way that is going to empower you, right? To create more of what you love and less of what you don't, that is the magic, right? And so that's that second piece is the emotional alchemy. And then the third piece is the mindset mojo, which, as I shared, most people, the way the coaching industry is, and I've been immersed in it since, I don't know, 2012-ish, they start with the mind. And the way I see it, it's kind of backwards and it's not going to work for, again, the dark horses, the deep feelers, the black sheep, the sensitive souls who have some deeper stuff that need to be tended to before you can slap on the mindset mojo. Okay, it's kind of like trying to spray whipped cream. I heard this analogy, I don't remember where, like years and years and years ago. It's like trying to spray whipped cream on top of a pile of shit, right? So like that whipped cream, I don't know, like eventually you're gonna realize there's shit underneath it, right? And that whipped cream don't look so good, don't taste so good, right? So anyway, so those are my 3 dark horse secrets to help you welcome in your winning season. And if you are ready to take this deeper, if you know that you're ready to stop waiting and start winning and have the tools, the support, the herd immunity, like run with the right herd that is going to help you to shift your energies, right? Like something I know, and I've talked on this before in other videos, but as dark horses, sometimes it can be hard to find the right herd to run with, okay? And because we feel like we don't fit in, and of course, connecting with like-minded souls is so important. But as a dark horse, like we're so different, right? It can be, it can sometimes be a little tricky to find the right herd, and we need to be discerning. And it is my intention that the dark horses that I am calling in to this container and into my world, into my audience, are the ones who know that they're here to unlock more light, that they're meant for more, that they are worthy of greener pastures, and they don't have to work harder and, hustle or sacrifice what they love or sacrifice their soul in order to live that life of fulfillment and freedom and success at the next level. And so if you resonate with any of this, again, not only do I want to invite you to check out the other 10 episodes, if you haven't already, of this Love Yourself in the Dark series, but to consider joining my Dark Horse Winners Circle, which is for 2026, but early enrollment period is open now, which means, again, pre-sale pricing and perks. And I'm not going to take the time to go into all those details here because I'll be here forever and it's like getting really late. But I want you to know about it, and I want you to also take a moment and ask yourself, if you're feeling the nudge, if you are resonating with what I've shared here and you want to go deeper, then at least go check it out, especially while we're on pre-sale. I also do have 2 spots at this time for one-on-one Dark Horse Diamond mentorship with me, where if you don't want to wait till 2026, we can get started this month. And one of the bonuses of working with me one-on-one in this high-touch diamond level mentorship is you will get free access to the Dark Horse Winners Circle next year, okay? And I think that's what I have for you today. If you have questions, again, information to contact me will be down below. And whether or not you decide to join the herd and the winner's circle, again, please know that if you found this video and if you made it all the way through to the end, I want you to know that this is your sign that it is your time to win. But as we talked about today, and you can go back and re-listen, you got to be in it to win it. You got to be all in, not just in your mind. You can't just be coming from your head. Even Tony Robbins has said, when you come from your head, you're dead. So you got to be all in it to win it. Body, mind, and soul. And that is exactly what we're going to be doing inside of the Dark Horse Winners Circle. That is exactly what we do when you work with me one-on-one. And with that, I am going to let you go. Don't forget, did I share this before? If you want to win $500 bonus bucks towards the Dark Horse Winners Circle, to enter my contest by leaving me a review on Apple and or sharing your favorite podcast on IG and tagging me with your takeaway. Each action is one entry, and you're welcome to do more than one. And so I think that's all I have for now. And the biggest piece, if you take nothing else away, is if you can learn to choose to love yourself, no matter what's going on, like you are already a winner. If you can choose to keep strengthening those self-love muscles, even in the dark, even when no one's looking, even when it feels like everything is going wrong, even when your body's got stuff going on, even when your career or business is just not where you want it to be and you know it deserves to be. Even when your bank account is in the red, even when your relationships are wonky, and or maybe you just feel like alone and you can't find your soul herd or soul family. I'm here to tell you that separation is a lie, that you are not alone, and that you are a winner because you're showing up. The fact that you showed up to watch this today and that you stayed here to the end, you're a winner. And so shifting your situation, as one of my past mentors used to say, learning how to shift your situation into gold, and not by doing the whipped cream trick, right? But by literally, again, like sitting in it, and allowing yourself to see the truth, to face your demons, your fears, your feelings, and not make yourself wrong, not make yourself wrong for having a bad day, not make yourself wrong for, being off or not being where you think you should be in your business, in your life, in your relationships and beyond. Can you choose to love yourself even 10% more today? And the last thing that I am going to leave you with is, and I think I've told this story before, but it's probably going back a couple decades now. I don't know, 20, I can't even do the math. But anyway, I was diagnosed with chronic Lyme's disease with an autoimmune component. I was struggling with chronic fatigue, anxiety, depression that was almost suicidal. And of course, as the story goes, it is the medicine of the horse that in so many ways saved my life. But I chose at that time, because I'm a sacred rebel, and I even did this in my vet practice. Like if people would bring me horses or animals that had some kind of quote unquote diagnosis, like that diagnosis did not have to be a death sentence. And I'll be damned under my watch if we weren't going to find a way to support the animal, the horse, to heal and get better. And of course, like there were times that didn't always work out. And what I do know, that more times than not, the miracles that I witnessed by simply like not letting those labels and those diagnoses define the destiny of that animal, whether they had more time or it was a complete miracle, whatever it was. Like to me, if we're going to give like a 6-month prognosis to some kind of terminal illness or disease, Oh, okay, I'm going off the beaten path, but what am I trying to say here? And I can't believe I'm going on for so long. What I'm trying to say here is like, you don't have to, even when you talk about loving yourself in the dark, you don't have to let these things, and we're talking about body issues, right? And health, they don't have to define you or your worth. And I had a draw the line in the sand moment where I decided not to let the diagnosis determine my destiny and or my future. And I turned the word LYMES into an acronym that stood for love yourself more every single day, with the S's. Anyway, point being, like, it is a practice, it's a choice to choose that no matter what's going on, that you get to keep loving yourself with fierce compassion and kindness in the ways that chances are, if you are a dark horse, you didn't get growing up. And so when we can love ourselves at the next level, and with the depth and the breadth of the way that we love our horses, our animals, and our loved ones, that's the magic. That's when that gets reflected back to us. That's when life loves us back. And so I love you on that note. I fly is an acronym for I effing love you. So if you hear me say that, that's what it stands for. And you'll hear the planes go by in the podcast. I often will pause and say I fly. And so with that, I fly. And until next time, may the force of the dark horse be with you. Ciao for now and namaste.